The Random Jottings of Donald J. from Nelson in Pendle. BBC Services Blocker. Why can't we buy a BBC Services Blocker? We can block our phones, why not BBC Television? Television makers should stop putting the app on new TVs. Story? Once upon a time in a quaint little town, there lived a curious inventor named Oliver. Oliver was known for his ingenious creations, often concocting gadgets that addressed everyday problems. One day, as he was sitting in his workshop, a question crossed his mind: why can't we have a BBC Services Blocker? In this town, people loved their television, but not everyone was a fan of every channel. Some folks found themselves frustrated with the British Broadcasting Corporation's BBC services, yearning for a way to block them from their televisions. Oliver decided to take matters into his own hands and invent a device that would allow people to do just that. His idea was simple: a small, sleek device that could be connected to any television, blocking all BBC services with the push of a button. Oliver envisioned a world where people could customize their TV experience, just like they did with their phones. As he tinkered away in his workshop, news of Oliver's invention spread throughout the town. The concept of a BBC Services Blocker intrigued many, and soon enough, people began to wonder why they couldn't buy such a device commercially. The town's residents rallied behind Oliver's creation, petitioning for the production and sale of the BBC Services Blocker. They argued that if they could block unwanted calls on their phones, why couldn't they do the same with television channels? The demand became so overwhelming that even the local authorities took notice. Television manufacturers, too, found themselves under scrutiny. People began to question why the BBC Services app was automatically installed on new TVs. The debate gained momentum, with some advocating for the freedom to choose the channels they wanted, while others argued for the importance of public broadcasting. In the midst of this debate, Oliver worked tirelessly to perfect his invention. He partnered with local electronics manufacturers to mass-produce the BBC Services Blocker, and soon enough, it hit the shelves of stores across town. The device became a symbol of choice and customization in the town. People could now enjoy their favorite shows without the intrusion of unwanted channels. The success of the BBC Services Blocker even sparked a broader conversation about consumer rights and the role of public broadcasting. In response to the growing demand, television manufacturers began to reconsider their approach. Some started offering TVs with the option to choose which apps and channels users wanted pre-installed, giving consumers more control over their viewing experience. Oliver's invention had not only solved a local problem but had also sparked a movement for change. The town became a symbol of innovation and the power of individual choice. As people continued to embrace the freedom to customize their television preferences, they realized that sometimes, a simple invention could have far-reaching consequences. And so, in this little town, the BBC Services Blocker became a small device with a big impact, changing the way people thought about their television experience. By Donald J.